Hey everyone, I'm Alexis the Eco Queen, and welcome back to another episode of Queen's Court. I forgot to say love me, you know you do. Huh. Anyway, we're joined by two new players. They are going to be introduced later on in the game, but I want to thank everybody for joining me. And now I'll let Viggy take over.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Due to personal disagreement, we no longer have Aseno and Spoon joining us. In their place, we have Mope and Prete joining instead. When when we last left our heroes, after finishing off the remaining cultists, the warband gathers itself and Tarvok forwards his plan through Raphael, and they head back to the foot of the drains and the scrap market. Asking around at the market, they found out that the town of Gantry lies beyond the Purity Gate. There is only a small problem. The gate is garrisoned by the Sanctionaries, who will be all too eager to know the reason behind venturing into the Under-hive. Arriving at the Purity Gate, the Acolytes once again come into contact with Oath Captain Katie and Niels, who has made inquiries of her own. Insistent on finding out the truth and resistant to Tobian's manipulations, the Acolytes finally relent and inform the Oath Captain on their true identities. Only then does Niels agree to let them through. As they are about to set off, a young-looking sanctuary, no older than 20 years Terran standard, approaches the warband, bidding them to wait but a moment. As the warband is standing in the rain, a sanctuary approaches them, somewhat out of breath, which is kind of pathetic considering the short distance he had to run. He runs up to you, Tarvok, and hands you a data slate saying, the Oath Captain wanted me to give you this. It's the autopsy report from the mortuary house.
Thank you. Now, report to the nearest Mechanicus personnel and replace those weak lungs of yours. It's pathetic and quite sad.
Right. And he wanders back towards the sanctuary precinct.
Well, Tarvok, what is it that you have there?
The autopsy reports from the mortuary house.
You're welcome.
Let's see. I'd like to look at them and just try to get some of the details on it.
Right. As you start thumbing through the data slate, looking at the various reports, Ren, you hear the distant rumbling of an auto carriage approaching, coming closer. As you look up to inspect the oncoming noise, you can see that it is your head servant Carpath arriving in your personal auto carriage.
Carpath, what are you doing here?
As he steps out of the driver's seat, he bows slightly to you, saying, my lady, I have returned with Lord Captain Lorisian, who has some further instructions from the Inquisitor. And he goes to the back doors, opens up, and out steps Lord Captain Lorisian.
Yes, Captain.
Yes, indeed. I have some further instructions. I am to replace 2 of your members, and I have brought replacements for them indeed. And out of the car, you can see 2 figures standing out. Of the 2, a tall, big guy with an athletic body and bulging muscles grabs your attention. He has a full black beard and a hair that ends at his chin, with a broad chest and shoulders, long and strong arms and legs. His military side is shown by his dress coat with boots, camouflage uniform with knee pad, but there is also a wilder, more undisciplined side of him, as suggested by his hood and cape, made out of a wolf's head and skin. This man radiates strength and violence. After the giant, a small woman steps out of the auto carriage. Of slender build and in the prime of her life, she smells of antiseptic and lightly of flour. Her pale skin contrasts with her jet black hair. Save for her bangs, her hair is pinned up in a loose bun. Her sharp and angled features betray an unamused expression that almost borders on smug. She has curves, but they're mostly covered by the white mesh lab coat that she wears, and a light blue casual sleeveless dress under it, cut at knee height. A red bag on a shoulder strap hangs from her side, with a caduceus printed on the outside. One of her arms is folded over the back straps, whilst her hand rests in a coat pocket with a pair of glasses hanging from them. And we have our new acolytes.
Oh, sweet Omnisire.
Lord Captain Lyrisian gestures his hand towards them, saying, "Allow me to introduce Dr. Thalia Polonia and Harold the Blackbeard," he says, pointing at the big man. I sadly, however, will be requiring Harlock and Guardsman Brecht to come with me. They have been recalled by Hunt himself.
Oh. Well, very well.
What?
It is...
I suppose.
Yes.
So,
I give them the cog of the Omnisire as they, I guess, make their way off to wherever they're going.
they...
Actually, I do want to inform the captain really quick about something.
Indeed.
Captain, we have a man coming down from the house with a sentinel. Can you give him further instructions so that the sentinel is here when we return at the
I
gate?
can do such a thing.
You may need to grab someone who can speak lingua technis. They may have trouble communicating.
I will keep that in mind.
Now,
And now, was there anything else you'd like the Inquisitor to know?
I'd like to. Can I whisper something to Carpath?
Carpath or Larisian?
Oh, Larisian, sorry.
Yes, you can do that.
Tell him I still hunt my quarry. He has eluded me, but not forever.
Larisian simply nods at this.
Can I use Sinesians real quick?
You can try. What are you trying to sense?
Like, if our new party members have any latent psychic powers.
As you extend your psychic sense towards your new warband members, you can sense no psychic power, latent or otherwise.
I'd like to look at them for any kind of augmetics or, technological enhancements.
I don't think this guy needs technological enhancements.
Just add a character, push-ups, sit-ups, and lots of juice.
Pretty good. So, as Harlock and Brecht enter the auto carriage, Brecht takes one final look at Tobian, a single nod before he disappears into the auto carriage, and Carpath closes the door behind them.
Now, Dr. what was it?
Polonia.
I'm going to extend my hand the way a High Lorder extends their hand to a commoner. So
I
just kind
take
of
your hand.
curious.
I look sideways.
Alexis, do you want to roll a scrutiny test for that thing you want to try?
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely do.
And while they're doing this, I lean over to Tobian.
Plus 20.
Where is scrutiny again?
It is kind of, it's a bit far down.
Security, scrutiny. Plus 20 you said?
Plus 20.
Now, I want to ask Tobian, I do not recognize his uniform. He is not of a regiment of
Did that work?
distinction from my understanding. Though my knowledge of it
Actually,
is limited.
before you ask that question, roll for me a common lore Ascalon sector.
Escalon sector.
Just roll
Yeah.
everything.
Did that test? Oh, okay, sorry.
Oh.
I
you
rolled it twice because I didn't see
you
it load.
Right. You rolled it twice, but you made it on the first one. And Tarvok, you actually recognize the uniform.
Do I?
You do indeed. This man, the insignia that he wears would indicate that he is of the 33rd Hraxian Blood Knives.
Oh, sweet Omni, sire. I thought my crazy troubles were over.
Oh. Feudal worlder, huh?
Dr.
However-
Felonia.
However, Ren, as you look the good doctor over, you notice that her ears have a slight pointed tip to them.
Dr. Felonia. Are you a mutant?
I look back at you with disdain.
Or a feeler?
I stare at you in contempt for a moment before responding, how could you ever accuse me of something like that?
Oh.
This is simply a cartilage formation from that formed over when I was in the...
In the what?
When I was a baby, the cartilage in my ear folded over, that's all it is.
Ah. I'm gonna whisper to Beltarvok. Beltarvok,
Yes, my lady.
are mutants aware that they're mutants?
What lore do I roll for this one?
You don't actually have Forbidden Lore mutants. You can just answer her.
I don't have the answer to
I
that.
use my Medicaid to inspect.
Then answer her whatever you think the answer is.
Oh, in a totally way that makes me sound like I know what I'm doing. I'm not sure. It depends on how much Imperial, we'll say propaganda for what it is, on that they've been put towards. For example, if you take let's just say an Ogren, they know that they're different because they're constantly around others. If she's been isolated or not well informed of the world, much like you are, then they might not.
I'm just gonna give you a look like you just because I know you insulted me. Very well. Welcome to our warband. I'm assuming the Inquisitor informed you, and I'm gonna say that very quietly, of what we're doing here.
I look back up at you and I say, if you're done scrutinizing me, then I guess I can inform you that no, I've been told next to nothing about what's going on.
Very good.
Very good. Alright.
I walk over to the very large man and look
yes.
up to him.
I will interject a tiny bit. Carpath has driven off with his passengers.
Very
Go ahead.
well. I'm terribly sorry about that. I'm still growing accustomed to,
The
people.
real world.
Let's just say. We're hunting a very dangerous group of people right now. Beltarva can inform you upon that.
I'll hold off on that as I, basically walk, basically leaving 3 feet of space between me and Harold Blackbeard. And
Right.
stare up at him. And I say, I see you are cut from a different swath than our previous companions.
I look back and answer, maybe.
You look like you can kill, and you seem to be very adept at it, and possibly doing it for a long time, I suppose. Am I correct?
You are correct.
Very
What are you
well.
talking about Tarvok? Of course, he's not from a different cloth. He's a feudal worlder.
I take one of my fire bombs off my out of my cloak and offer it to him as like a sign.
When did
I
you make
offer
fire
this.
bombs?
He made them
remember
last
down the
time.
alcohol bottles.
Oh, right. I missed that. I
No,
forgot.
you didn't. You gave them to me.
That's true. That's true. Did I write those down?
Yes, you did.
I don't.
Right. Okay. Never mind.
I offer him one of my fire bombs as take this, and with it we shall purge the enemies of the Omnisire.
I extend my hand and say, take them and say thank you.
Doctor, are you armed at all?
I know to carry a small armament, but I would never call myself anything of a warrior.
Oh dear.
Well, what do you have specifically, if you don't mind me asking?
I look at you with a bit less of disdain than I was looking at the woman in front of me. And I draw a small las pistol out of my coat and hand it over to you to examine.
I actually interject, and if I may inspect it, I am more proficient in these technological matters.
I sigh and hand it to you instead.
Can I examine it for any kind of specialty makes, or maybe any kind of special lenses, perhaps?
You can examine it with a tech use test.
Can I give her my spare las pistol ammo?
You can?
Because I never use my las pistol.
Right.
Oh my god.
I take the las pistol ammo and I stick it in the medical bag.
Oh, wow. That,
Oh, wow.
Roll.
So, yeah, what you have here in your hands is a compact issue las pistol. It has been modified in such a way that it should be hidden quite well should she attempt to conceal it.
Concealability, practicality, versatility. A fine weapon, if not for self-defense. A very good choice, Doctor. If I may, I'm from a research station myself. Where did you study?
I studied on Borlees.
Is that in a sector I know of?
Roll common lore all.
Did they send us a resume by any chance?
They did not.
A resume in 40k. I lived past 10.
Oh, barely made it. You know that Foralis is, you have heard that it is a paradise world in the Ascalon sector. She is a local.
I actually have visited there before. Quite
You
a.
have not.
I'm lying.
Oh, that's
Don't worry about it.
right.
Do I have to roll to see if I perceive I'm lying?
You can roll Knight, roll roll deceive, mope, roll scrutiny to spot the lie.
Okay, I can't lie to save my life. Look,
No.
I'm trying to be polite because she's obviously already ticked off at our
Yeah.
glorious overlord.
What did I do?
You. Okay, if I come to your house and say, "Hey, Alexis, are you an Ogren?" How would you feel?
How dare you compare me to one of those brutes?
Hey.
That's out of character, just real quick.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said her name.
Indeed.
Oh, I was saying in character. Sorry.
Right.
Well.
So,
Oh, do you want to give a description, this is out of character, of us to our two new buddies?
right. Actually, yes, I can. Let me grab your descriptions real quick.
And if it isn't obvious, I'm fucking catered to.
Okay,
Yeah.
I guess I'll give up and just say, okay, perhaps I have not been there, but I have read a lot of information on the planet for research purposes.
You should go sometime. The air there, it's different. It's impossible to describe compared to this.
Does it have a Mechanicus presence of any notable different size?
No, thank goodness, no.
Oh, I see. Very well, Doctor. I
No,
hope.
no. If you're done flirting, they're not going to hold up in this gate forever.
Look, I wanted to ask her one last question. In what field are you a doctor in?
I'm a medical doctor. Specifically, a surgeon.
I hold up my newer robotic hand and say, but then you will be very much appreciated, I suppose.
I can work with the
Better Medicare.
biological aspects of it.
There was an arm here before. It was,
Shut off. You hear Toby snickering.
I point my finger at him and say, don't cross me.
Careful now. You'll lose the other hand.
I've already done that, you fool.
Well, that would give me some more work.
So, do you want to hear the descriptions of everyone?
Sure.
Yes.
The lady that has been quite forthcoming with the doctor has bright red hair and hazel eyes, and her most prominent, being the most prominent feature of around a sea of fair skin, a tight black and gray corset adorned with the imperial aquila covers her upper torso, while a pair of black pants wrapped in a red and white dress covers her leg. She is clearly of noble birth, although you don't know it. A recent addition is that of her hat.
Oh yeah, I forgot she got a hat.
She did get a hat.
Is it better than Ren's?
No?
Talking about Ren's hat.
We're
Oh,
talking about Ren's hat.
I'm tired, I'm sorry.
P.O.Box stands at about 6'4" and bulkier than you would expect from a tech priest. He wears a bright red flak robe with a black trim that is rent and torn along sight into his mechanical parts. Some of his most notable features are his radiation-burned flesh, his bald head with implanted cranial armor, and bionic arms, and his bionic arms. Full stop. The man in the Tempestus armor is a tall and scrawny young man with hair color comparable to coal. Though being from a twilight world, he is surprisingly tan. A bullet-wound scar is etched along his right arm and his right hand, always clenching a small crystalline ring. His eyes are pale blue, but always moving, always very. So, those are the descriptions they had.
But I've been told their names.
You, is anyone going to do the
Oh,
introductions?
I thought I did.
You can introduce yourself, but
Yeah.
All right.
So I know who you are.
I guess as introductions. Well, before I do my introduction, do I know any symbol of rank on Herald?
Isn't he, isn't he just a trooper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So no, like, sergeant marks or anything?
No.
I'm the sergeant. You bitch.
Try it.
Trooper Herald, Doctor, I am Boltavarius Tarlock at your service. Or more specifically, you are at mine.
I'm not Adam.
I just stare at him, trying to figure out what it is.
Oh, did the blood knives not have injectors?
They do, but you look weird compared to them.
Wow.
What?
Discrimination.
No. I'm saying you're unique, you asshole. Take the fucking
You're a special snowflake.
Ah,
You're unique, man. So, wow, way to be mean.
Biggie, can I roll to see if I recognize Toby's regiment?
you just automatically Actually, you wouldn't, because he's not wearing his uniform. Do you
Well,
want to...
there's still some heraldry on
you,
my armor.
you can roll Common Lore Imperial Guard to try and recognize his insignia.
I do that. Let's see.
Click on the button next to the lore.
Oh no.
You, sadly, due to the modifications of the armor, you do not recognize that he is of Mordian iron.
That's fine.
Right. So, Toban, do you want to introduce thyself? You're the only one left.
You can call me Tobian. Okay. I'm of the Mordian 10th Infantry.
I look at him and slightly nod.
Just do not. He's also a lightweight when it comes to alcohol.
You don't know how much I drank that day.
I'm just gonna snicker slightly.
Oh yes, Harold, I will have to regale you of what Sergeant Kirsch did in a back of a auto carrier.
Now, we should get moving. These doors aren't gonna stay open forever.
Agreed.
I nod at her before moving towards the back of the group.
Oh, I'm gonna walk up to Dr. Polonio and just hand her one of my spare knives.
I look at it, kind of confused, before looking back at you and saying thanks.
Right, so,
Affect me when you need it.
okay, so I guess we should. I agree. My companions or friends, as I'm so hesitant to call you, I do believe we should get moving. Our quarry is not waiting while we sit here idly discussing.
I slightly nod and get ready.
As you enter through the gaping maw of Purity Gate, you enter into the Under-hive proper. And even though the Gallows Way languishes in the shadow of Desolium City, mired in its filth and despair, it is still a place of life and order. By comparison, once you pass through the pressure doors of the Purity Gate, leaving its fortified walls and autocannon defenses behind, you enter a truly desolate realm. No clear path guides your way, nor is there reliable air or light. Things are constantly glimpses in the dark, and the ground periodically shifts and shudders as the gigatons above them move and settle. You must cross a wasteland of broken tunnels and corridors, finding a way down.
Just real quick, I'm just gonna take a deep breath. Ah, just like Morgan.
This is not what I had in mind.
Doctor, can you do you have any way of detecting if there's any kind of toxins in the air that may prove a nuisance to us?
I pull the Auspex out of my bag and I scan for it.
Nice.
I also have the specs.
Indeed.
Did you add that, Pig?
Wait, did you...
Remember I got one from the Sanctuary Captain last time?
Oh yeah, that is true. Let me add it real quick to your sheet. Wait, you have it. It's at the bottom.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah. You roll... Now, there are 2 Auspex scanners in the group. They require a tech use test to operate, which sadly the people that have Auspexes do not have tech use.
Silently screams in binary.
I look down in confusion before saying, maybe you should try reading this, and I hand it to Tarklock.
Well, as a man who prefers, we'll just say commercial side, I'd like to offer her something in return for it, just as I offer her a web grenade in exchange for her Auspex, as just to be, astute.
Well, I mean, I don't want to give it to you. Just read it for right now.
Well, look. Hold on, so it's a tech test?
It is a tech use test indeed. This will give you a +20 on awareness tests. On a follow-up awareness test.
Look, I'm not very good at tech use.
You say that.
I know.
Why are you saying that?
To be sarcastic.
Indeed. Just do the damn tech use test.
I did!
Hold on. Yeah, you made it. You get a +20 on an awareness test. Now roll an awareness test.
That I don't.
And as you look through the readings of the scanner, you only find that the air is filled with a fractional amount of pollutants, not dangerous so long as long-term exposure is kept at bay.
If you have any filtration plugs or any kind of rough environment gear, I would suggest acquiring it, and I give her the Auspex back. Thank you very much, Doctor.
Put the Auspex away and pull out a paper mask and put it over my face.
Indeed. Pri, you have a respirator, right? You can use that.
Yeah, I'm gonna equip my respirator.
Right.
And I would
Yeah,
like
I wish I had one of those.
I look at the two of them and say, now, as we continue down here, and I start whispering to keep it low, what we are hunting are cultists of the most foul and profane sort. But they cannot be bargained with, and the plans would, should the plans come into fruition, it would mean destruction on a massive scale for this hive, and we must not allow that to happen.
I give him an uneasy look, but stay silent.
And I look over to Harold. In other words, bad guys, you shall smash.
It smells
I just
terrible
look back
down here.
at him, trying to sense if he was insulting me or not.
You are. It is a difficult thing to find out, but you can assume that he wasn't directly trying to insult you.
Okay.
Right.
Now, Doctor, do you have any combat experience whatsoever?
Not really.
Upon hearing this, I just put my hand on my forehead and just
You could just hear me grunting like, ugh,
just
this again.
like whispering something about the Inquisitor under my breath. I'd like the lowest in linguotechnics. Very well, then you should, I suppose, stay next to Tobian.
I look over to Tobian and say nothing before getting a little closer to him.
I'm just gonna be looking back as we're walking through this sludge.
Indeed. Moving on.
It smells so bad down here.
Yes, we are in the Under-hive of Richmond. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm just trying not to think about the stench.
Don't get
Do
your boots dirty, princess.
Do you have
Shut
filtration
it.
plugs?
I just kind of snicker under my respirator.
So, does anyone have anything to say, or moving on?
I'm assuming we're moving on.
Yeah. I just want to know: are there any signs of life? Like, have we run into any person or living or dead?
As you, for the time that you have traveled, no. The closest thing to life form that you find is some algaic sludge in some of the brackish pools. As you find your way down through and around endless fallen obstacles, the air itself tastes different, thick with a tang of rust and rot, when it is not nearly too thin to breathe or too chokingly thick. You have truly left Hive and Imperial law behind. As your journey takes 10 hours to reach your destination, you finally arrive into a gigantic cave, and you can see, hanging from an archway up top, a gigantic city that is tangled into the upper hive, into the hive itself.
What in the world?
A city within a city.
As
Welcome to the Under-hive.
everyone roll an awareness, please, with a plus 10.
So I just add a modifier of 10.
Indeed, you just write in 10.
What the heck? I passed.
Wait, you rolled twice. Oh, what? No, that was the tech
Yeah.
boost. No, that was the Auspex thingy. You pass. Polonia passes. Wow.
Did everyone just pass it except Tobian?
I think they did. As Tobian stares at the dangling and creaking metallic structure, everyone looks to the left. Actually, it looks to the right, and they can see a sign that is crudely written that says Gantry with an arrow pointing in that direction.
The sight of this dangling city just is making me feel nostalgic.
So, as you walk along the cliff edge toward what looks to be the entrance, you come upon a gate.
I'm gonna ready my las gun as we walk towards it.
Princess, put that thing away right now.
So, if you if you will zoom out and find yourself in the lower right corner.
Does that science thing say what I think it says?
No fun allowed.
Yeah.
Before we go on, I have a tiny bit more stuff. Finally, the rubble-strewn tunnel you are following comes to an end, opening into a wide section of the Under-hive, where the ceiling is lost in the shadows above. From far below, you can hear the sluggish flow of a sump river. Up ahead in the gloom, you can make out a metallic structure suspended over a huge chasm which crosses the cavern, flickering with feeble light. And you can see the bridge that leads into this Gantry. So, up ahead, you can see a gate that is being manned and guarded by what can only be Red Walk members. You can see that a pair of travelers is walking through the group, through the gate, and they hand off their guns to this member over here. As they do, the man walks in and stashes them, and they head on into the city itself. If you look over here, oh crap, you can see another crudely drawn sign, and you make out the words "No guns allowed."
Upon seeing that, so we see the sign, right?
Indeed.
I clench my hands a little bit and let out a small laugh.
Shit.
Harold, as you are looking at this gate, you notice up top a twin-linked heavy stubber.
Okay, and I kind of drool a little bit.
Tiny.
Wait, speaking of heavy stubber, I guess they did take the Ironmongers took that away. Never mind.
Yeah, they did. But it's being put on the Sentinel. So, who wants to take the lead?
Oh,
I'm
first,
gonna take my las pistol and hide it in my body glove. Just like below my clothing.
Indeed.
I hide my power knife inside my armor.
You can try.
Since I'm guessing, do I have any knowledge about how these operations work in an Under-hive?
What operations?
Like these kind of gate operations. Like, are we gonna get checked, or will there be a toll? Like,
Well, there is no.
Let's go find out.
There is no proper stated protocol regarding regarding hive gangers, but you can roll a logic test to try and figure something out.
Are you telling me these people are operating on logic and bureaucracy?
I mean, there is some kind of order down here.
I'm scared.
I'm gonna go on the bead and just say, everyone, try to hide a weapon. We're more than likely going to need them when we get in.
I'm just gonna note that our pistol's already concealed.
Indeed.
I'm gonna clench my hands around the grip of my chain axe.
Indeed.
I'm just gonna look at his chain axe and just be like, what the hell?
Well, they only said no guns, not no axes.
She makes a fair point.
Let's hope they're that stupid.
Perhaps. Besides, I do believe this man could rip apart a Castellian robot with his bare hands.
Either way, I'm gonna take the lead and start moving up. I'm gonna
Indeed.
walk up to this person right here.
Yes. As you approach the man standing outside of the gate, he look what we have here. He looks over at the man standing up on the wall over here and says, "Look what we got, boys. Pretty lady came to visit."
Yes. Now, what do I have to do to get into your fair city?
Just cuff up your guns and you're free to go in.
I'm gonna hand over just the last gun.
just you have a las pistol and a long las.
Yeah, the long las. I also have a hand cannon that I hid.
You do. So you are going to try and hide both of them.
Yep.
Indeed. Right, of course, but oh, and he says, yeah, of course, and don't worry about your guns. They'll be given right back to you when you leave. He takes the long las, hands it over to the man behind him as he calls a bit more men over to try and hold all the guns that you may be having.
Yeah. I'm going to just go through my stuff and like I'm laying down like regicide kits and grab boots until I finally find my stuffed revolvers and give them a little spin before handing them handle first to the guy.
Right.
Does anyone remember the animated movie Sinbad?
What was that?
Does anyone remember the animated movie Sinbad?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what scene you're
The
talking
guy just
about.
pulling up all those weapons out of his vest.
Indeed.
He was like there the whole time. That's what I imagine Tarvok's doing.
Just with random crap.
Yeah, so
So,
see it now. Auto will. Here we go. Take care of them.
So, the man says, you can go in now, into the gate itself. And he says, one by one, just to make it easier.
Okay. I'll head in first.
So, he points you towards that guy.
I'm just
So
gonna
walk
walk
up to
by
him.
and give him a
Right.
shotgun.
So, Tarvok...
Can I
you
do
go-
an awareness test to like know exactly what I'm seeing around me?
You can roll an awareness with a plus 20, even. So, Tarvok, you hand over your... Stop cutting in line, Toby.
Who's that first?
Get behind Tarvok.
Oh
Get
shit.
behind me.
I'm gonna use a fate point to reroll that.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Oh, what do I do?
Oh shit, I'm fucking blind. Never mind.
Well, you are somewhat distracted by the man standing in front of you. His many piercings and scars are painting a road map of his face.
What were you saying about Tarvok? I didn't catch it.
Right. I just wanted to see that the only weapons that you gave up were your pistols.
Let's see. Make sure that's all I had. Let's see. Flat cloak, register headset. Yeah, like I have my knife and my hands.
Indeed.
Can I ask him about my chain axe?
He looks up at you and says, "What about your chain axe?"
Yeah, I don't want to let it go.
Well, you don't have to. Do you have any guns?
Yes.
Well, we're gonna have to take that then.
That's fine.
He takes your last gun. Ooh, he looks at the chain bayonet that has been attached to the underside of the barrel? Yeah, barrel. That works. Says, ooh, like it. You're a man after my own heart.
Yes.
You can go into the line.
Gay.
I look at him and say I'm a doctor. It's against my Hippocratic oath to hurt anyone. I don't have any weapons.
Well, that's fair enough, but we will still pat you down if you don't mind. Even if you do mind, we're still going to do it.
I say fine.
Indeed. So,
Oh no.
Alexis, you will now be patted down for weapons. So I will require you to roll a stealth test.
I got another
against-
idea.
What is your idea?
As he goes to put his hands on my waist, I'm gonna put my hands on his and use a charm test.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna use my ability to auto pass said charm test by getting rid of a fate point. Well, by using a fate point.
Right.
Ooh.
That will be. Hold on, let me double check. Okay, so he will roll willpower with a plus. So, let's see.
Be careful with the goods.
Oh boy, that is quite the thing. So-
Am I watching this?
Maybe. So, he is going to roll with a 20.
Dave,
So,
watch them.
let's
Oh,
see.
sorry. Do I have
Oh,
a patron
wow.
order?
Huh.
Hold on. How many degrees of success do you get normally? It's your willpower bonus. It's 4.
Yeah.
I hate to break it to you, but he beat you by 1. He got 5.
Oh, dang.
I have a. He says, as you listfully look into his eyes, he looks back at you with a grin on his face, saying, "I wouldn't worry about that. I don't see it that way."
Joke's on you, he's been hit by the gay lightning.
I look over at Tarvak.
Alright.
Okay.
I unbuttoned the first couple buttons of my jacket.
Anyway.
Now comes the.
So now I need to do a stealth test, don't I?
Now you need to roll a stealth with no modifier, and he gets a +10 to try and.
God, I hope I pass this.
Do you need me to roll a stealth too for my concealed pistol?
Ah, damn it!
But they get a massive. Oh wow.
He failed harder than she did, right?
He failed harder, so don't worry. You do manage to keep your 2 pistols hidden. He seems shy about going anywhere near your lady parts.
Oh no.
So, you can. He then motions you on.
I'm just gonna move off
patting you
here and
down.
just kind of like look at him like
Tarva.
kind of feeling violated.
I look around and say, if I'm to be touched by one of you, I demand someone who has at least spent time with the Adeptus Mechanicus.
Well, that's a shame. No one down here has.
Then very well, but be careful when touching me. My arms are worth more than this entire hive.
He pats you down, and he finds nothing of interest because you've already given up your guns. So
Yeah,
you can
I mean,
move
he
ahead.
finds my regicide set. That's of interest, probably.
He does look through all of your crap, but he does look bewildered by some of it.
I take this time to go ahead and put on my grab boots.
Don't do that. You can barely walk in those. So, Toby,
Okay.
you're up next.
I'm just gonna toss him my shotgun.
You toss your shotgun. I need to see if you are hiding anything else.
It's like I gave Mope all my ammo for my pistol, so it's just my knife.
True. Right. So, in that case, he lets you through. Go up to the dude, and I will now roll an awareness test to pat you down because you technically still have the last pistol, even though it is empty. So, awareness 10. Roll a stealth for me, Toby. He got a 3 degrees of success. So he manages to find your last pistol, but he does note that the thing isn't loaded, but he does still take it. And
Whatever.
says, "You'll get it back, don't worry." So you can move on now. And Pre, you're up next.
Sorry, my stuff crashed.
No, don't
I
worry.
I just stand there clenching the handle of my chain axe.
He checks out your chain axe, saying, that looks pretty deadly, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, nice and easy now. And he does a fairly light patting down, finds that you have nothing, you're not hiding anything else, and lets you pass.
While they're doing that, I put a hand on Rin Roseless and say, Lady Lockwood, are you okay? I know these people are unsavory.
Just not what I was expecting.
trust me, I've seen worse.
So,
Your looks will have trouble. That may cause more trouble than good around here.
So, nope. I am going to roll an awareness with a -20 against your stealth.
Okay.
Oh wow, that is quite the failure. You don't have to win by much. You don't have to. You just have to fail by less.
I make a stealth.
Indeed, a stealth with no modifier.
Well, it's sort of last gun's compact. I just need to get a. Never mind. She's what?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Her weapon gave her like a bonus since it's like compact or something.
Now,
Or is that you didn't add that mod?
hold. Let me see. You have. He has a perception bonus of 3. You have an agility bonus of 3, so it goes on. And it goes to who rolled lower. And you technically win by
Hooray!
3.
That
Wow.
is pretty close.
That is.
That's one way of doing it.
RNG this.
As you stand there and he's patting at your mesh white lab coat, you can, his fingers barely pass the compact las pistol that you're hiding on the inside, and he seems none the wiser. And as he is and as he finishes patting you down, he says, "All right, all done. You new visitors, you might want to check out the gallows. It's the only thing that counts as a drinking establishment in this town."
I'll take note of that.
Indeed. So,
I hear he mentioned the word of drink.
indeed, you heard him mention a place called the Gallows. So, as you move into the town proper, you can now find your way around. Oh, it's called the Sanctuary Gallows. My bad. I forgot the full name. So, as you move across the bridge, I'm going to need Tobian and Tarvok to roll a willpower test.
Okay.
So, Knight, are you back?
I think you just dropped. Yep, you dropped.
Oh snap. Crap, we are missing a knight, and he was required for a...
Yeah, you can roll it.
I'm gonna roll it for him, but I kind of need him to, react to the things that I'm about to do. So... Hold on.
I'm sure you won't mind.
Alright, I'll roll the test for him. Let's see. Go to willpower and roll.
Yeah.
Oh. Never mind then. That, you made it just perfectly.
That was the red weight guy.
I know. It was technically me still rolling as him. I
Oh,
forgot to
okay.
change my name. So, yeah, but it was Tarvok's willpower, which is 34, and I rolled a 1. So, we may have lost the knight. That is a problem. So, as... let me, so, Tarvok won by more, and Tobian, as you are walking across the tangled bridge that leads into the town itself,
Oh, did I need a willpower test?
you didn't
No.
have to.
Okay.
You... As you glance down into the darkness and the sump river that snakes about below, when you look up, You're walking along a great hallway. Arched windows built of bone stretch along it, but the view is blocked by the canopy outside. Looking further down the hallway, you see a procession of black-robed figures, their pale faces out of focus, no matter how much you squint. As this macabre parade comes closer, you hear an echo of wailing and sobbing. You try to speak, but your own voice only adds to this lamenting chorus, and they walk past, paying no heed to you. Your puzzlement only deepens as the vision ends, and you are back. So, that was... You are now becoming horrifyingly familiar with the fact that the visions are still happening, even though you have no artifact on your person.
Can I roll a senescence?
To try and make sense of that? You can indeed.
Like, I'm guessing that the psychic phenomenon is coming from this area, so I'm just kind of gauge the general direction, I guess.
Indeed. You can roll a senescence. No.
Yeah, I'm not going to bother.
The vision has left you a bit, has left your mind a bit hazy. You can sense nothing emanating from your surroundings. So,
Does he look around, like actually physically, like look around?
Because he made it, and the vision had him walking along a hallway, I'm going to say that he kept walking in the vision.
Okay.
And the bridge. So, he kept his composure, so he is fine. So, there we go. We have Night back.
Hello?
Yep, you're back.
You're here.
Welcome back.
Yeah, the daggum hurricane's causing, meaning the AT&T folks are working on the lines and what have you, so...
Oh boy, that is a shame.
Yeah, so we'll just have to keep going. What'd I miss?
You missed Tobian having another vision, though he did keep his cool as it happened. Also, can you read the letters, the lettering on this picture fine?
Yeah.
Alright, good, because I wasn't sure if it was clear enough. So, you have entered the town of Gantry, a rust-streaked clump of metal and cables. You can see all around you people moving about in their in the usual manner of the downtrodden, backs hunched, eyes sullen? Yeah, there we go.
Knees weak, arms heavy.
No, stop it.
Sorry.
Spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti. But yeah. However, intermixed among the crowds, you can see the telltale red cloth that indicates Red Walk members. They walk with their head held a bit higher than most of the inhabitants of Gantry. So, where do you wish to go?
I'm gonna go in the microbead so everybody can just hear me.
Indeed.
We should try to follow some of these Red Walk members. Maybe get an idea of where their base of operation is.
Oh, goodness. Actually, Knight is having internet issues, and we have been going for almost an hour now. Should we cut it here?
Yeah, I think that's a really good spot to cut it.
It works for me.
All right, that is a pretty good hour well spent. All right, take us out, Alexis.
Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me. As always, I'm Alexis the Ego Queen. I love you guys. Bye.